Pokemon Twilight, Pokemon EV. And spend some time in Lugia's stomach. Pokemon shouldn't be eaten. Please. Yes, I'm stuck in Lugia's stomach long. And seeing what it's like to be in a stomach. So hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, Pokemon being eaten. I'm in a stomach to see what it's like. Here I am, stuck in Lugia's stomach alone.
Super Sounds in the 70s.
Well, eat right, eat Pokemon Swallow, Pokemon eat me. And spend some time in Lugia's stomach. Pokemon shouldn't be eaten. Please. Well, I don't know why you came here tonight. I got a feeling that something ain't right. People eat Pokemon, I don't like it. And I'm wondering how I'll protest so well. I have an idea. Lugia, you mean so I'm stuck in Lugia's stomach alone. Here I am stuck in Lugia's stomach alone. Yes, I'm stuck in Lugia's stomach alone. Stuck in Lugia's stomach alone.
Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Throw them some pesos and they work so hard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. I don't even ask if they got green card. They're gonna pave up my driveway this Christmas. They're gonna clean all my cars this Christmas. They're gonna shovel all the snow this Christmas. Those illegals in my yard. They're gonna dig me a pool this Christmas. They're gonna landscape my lawn this Christmas. They're gonna cook me up some tacos this Christmas. Those illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. 16 arrive in a stolen car. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. When they're not working, they sit at the bar. They're gonna drink some cervezas this Christmas. They're gonna shoot some tequila this Christmas.
Yeesh, that was real crunchy. Sorry about that. Okay, so looks like everything is looking okay. Just give me a couple seconds to join the VC. To be honest, that little transition video, it usually ends up just lagging anyway, so I may end up disabling that for the next stream going forward, but yeah. I'm going to share my screen just in case somebody joins. Hey, how's it going, Style and Boba? I just have to make sure that the audio for the game doesn't like completely like overtake my mic volume. So be sure to let me know if like the game is too loud, too quiet, so I can adjust it later on. Either way, I hope y'all are having a good day or a good evening. I sure am. We'll go ahead and get this shit started. But to be honest, I don't really know what to pick. I know that if you pick the Metal Gear Solid 2 thing, it ends up being a troll. Oh, hey, what's up, Gaseous? Joey said this is good, but it's Joey, so who knows? I pre-ordered the game, and I was able to play it 2 days early, and I made it all the way up to the mountain area. So far, it's a faithful remake. Nothing was changed, nothing was censored. There was some slight performance issues, but, you know, beyond that, it's serviceable, I'd say. Like, if you're trying to get into the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and you're asking me, hey, which game should I start out with? I would probably just say this one, to be honest. And also avoid the legacy style. The overhead camera is shit. Just go with the new style. It's basically just like how it was originally in Metal Gear Solid 3, where it's like, you know, you're behind the character. Gonna go with normal this time. Also, one thing that took me by surprise too is that the controls are different too. And that took me a little bit to get used to, but barring that,
this marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
it's not too bad. Oh shit, that was really loud. So the next big thing is remaking old games. Yeah, I mean, it's nice for people to like remake games every once in a while, but I mean, to be fair, what else is Konami gonna do with the Metal Gear Solid series? It's not like they're gonna hire Kojima again and have him do Metal Gear Solid 6.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. Ready to go.
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Yeah, also, Style and Boba was watching me play a little bit of this game earlier yesterday when I was streaming it in the VC.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
Still working on the video. It's almost done. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Always know what he's doing.
I ended up finishing the script to this next video I'm working on, talking about the Archie Sonic comics. So tomorrow I plan on recording the audio for it.
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
You've been saying that for a while, Grandpa.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Open
Should be interesting, G. Oh yeah. Yeah, can't wait. Or if you're talking about my video about the Archie Sonic comics, yeah, that... Trust me, like, there's a lot of shit I had to do research on. That's why it took so long for me to fucking write the script for it. Because that whole comic book series is such a complicated history that, like,
external temperature.
even my video alone just barely scratched the surface of, like, all the controversies that happened.
You'll be falling at 100.
Yeah, that's also something I've been trying to do with my videos, too. I feel like I've been pumping out, like, a lot of, like, short videos, and... I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to focus more on long-form type content. I'm still gonna do my reviews and all, and they're still gonna be like within the same range of like 10 to 20 minutes, but like when it comes to my discussion videos, it's gonna be a little bit more edited, a little bit longer than usual.
Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spread your wings and fly. God be
You know, quality over quantity, I'd say, is a lot better. Could make a whole series about Sanic. Oh yeah, for sure. There are channels that dedicate themselves to it as well. Most of them are just like algorithm fodder trash, but I would say Cybershell is a good Sonic tuber. And sometimes he doesn't even talk about just Sonic, so.
Jack, I've got some important news.
Good is debatable.
CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
Don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right.
Just curious, what type of video are you making, Gaseous? I'm assuming it's another Joey compilation or an empty compilation?
About 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West.
Or is it margarine or butter related?
His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that
Mom,
famous
Dad,
weapons
please stop fighting.
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established...
It's a short montage of Pippa getting her ass kicked in Elden Ring, picking a fight with the guy at the start who's never wise. Oh yeah, that was a trap I knew to avoid when I first tried playing it. A part of me does feel guilty that I tried rage quitting Elden Ring, and it's funny because like 2 weeks after I rage quitted it, I started Black Myth Wukong, and it ended up being like my favorite game of last year, so I beat it all the way through, so whoops. I can show you some footage if you want. Okay, cool. If you want to, you could, I guess, either post it in the Discord or after I'm done streaming this, if you want to just like pop in the VC real quick, you're more than welcome to. It's up to you.
It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th.
You know what's crazy is that the Cuban Missile Crisis was like a lot of people criticized Kennedy for that shit. Like a lot of people really underestimated how much balls Kennedy had for doing that. Oh, hang on, I got a Discord ping.
Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and
Okay, so I'm assuming Pippa is a he or she or Z is a Minecraft YouTuber, I guess. I see a little VTuber PNG thing at the corner. So, you know, that's usually a good sign.
Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other...
Hang on, let me go ahead and shrink the, Go ahead and oh, hang on. I'm just gonna shrink the chat real quick, that way it doesn't, like, overtake the, video. There we go.
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov
I forget with my
full-scale nuclear
my current stream layout, the chat doesn't automatically disappear.
President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets...
When the new video is ready, I'm going to show it to a few people before officially publishing it.
Something to do with the weapon.
All right, cool.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
if you want to,
so big that Khrushchev
you want to show it to me, I'm cool with that. Or if not, you know, that's also cool too.
Facility.
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Alright, sweet. I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, guys, this is just something that kind of happened this week. But did you hear about that 12-year-old girl in Scotland that, like, she was getting stalked and harassed by these, like, you know, Muslim immigrant dudes or whatever, and they were basically daring her to, like, brandish a knife at them so she could get in trouble? And she's like a 12-year-old girl. Like, isn't that fucked up? Like, if that shit happened in America, those two dudes would have been shot and nobody would have felt sorry for them. I know it's not exactly related to what I was talking about earlier, but
Infiltrate Selino-Yarsk.
I don't know, for some reason that really pissed me off.
Sokolov and bring him back to the west.
They need to have some kind of, like, self-defense reform over there. It is actually ridiculous.
Sokolov back before that weapon is complete. We'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
How dare she threaten her potential rapist? How racist of her. Yep, pretty much.
Confirm the rescue of Sokolov. Stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy.
Hey, what's up, Richard Russell? How's it going?
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
Hope you're having a good evening.
During a parachute jump,
The government has successfully disarmed the population because stupid. They can do whatever they want now. Yeah, you know what's also crazy too? Is that a lot of the UK citizens, they've tried voting for, you know, stricter immigration laws, but all the people that promise to do it, that get voted in, they just choose not to.
even with the fuel in the reserve tank,
Like, as soon as they get into office, they just get fat off of, you know, being elected and don't do jack shit. And then 10 to 15 years later, all of a sudden there's rapes going on.
you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Also, you know, slightly related, but Trump tried to pass a bill that would make it to where, like, if you burn the American flag in public, you'd get a 1-year sentence in jail. To all the people that are saying, like, this is like a threat to free speech, what if the American flag was like a pride flag, or like a gay flag, or a flag from another country? You would just straight up go to jail for fucking hate speech. But, you know, when it's an American flag, it's all of a sudden not an issue. I don't know. To me, I just see this as, like, Trump leveling out the playing field. Like, it's either all okay to burn, or none of it's okay, so. You know. The government has betrayed the citizens. Absolutely treason. Yep. Also over there too, like if you like whenever there is a rape going on and it's done by an illegal, like the press and the police department are afraid to do anything about it or talk about it or arrest them because they don't want to be looked at as racist, and then, you know, they'd go to jail for saying something racist. It's fucking crazy what's going on.
Do you copy?
Burn a rainbow flag? Perish the thought.
Somebody might be listening in.
The concept of hate speech is preposterous. Yeah.
Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real
And
name.
Trump is correct about that, by the way. Like, when he was talking about how burning the American flag, it kind of starts, like it basically just creates a bunch of more violence where there wouldn't have been if they weren't allowed to burn the flag.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be.
Bundy was on Chedcast yesterday, and he said that Wikipedia was a disaster.
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave.
Not sure who Bundy is. Like, are you talking about, like, Al Bundy or Ted Bundy? Those are the only Bundys I know of.
In other words, weapons and equipment to procure on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke.
Yeah, like Wikipedia is good for general knowledge, but when it comes to current political events or divisive political events, it's not very good. If you want a good example of that, just look at the Wikipedia article on Gamergate, and you'll see how biased it is. Oh, okay, you mean Larry Bundy Jr.? It's been a while since I've seen his content. Wikipedia requires ID now due to the UK. Are you shitting me? Like, is that actually a thing?
No problem. I can see it from here.
You have to have a fucking ID to use Wikipedia now?
To climb a tree, stand
Yep.
in front of a tree that's covered
Yep, now I know who you're talking about. The I'm Larry Bundy Jr.
progress over the radio. We can't risk
Let me joke about Peter Molyneux for the 50th time.
My frequency is
Still a good channel, though.
0.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you
There's a good reason why it's not considered a credible source. Yeah, Wikipedia is a good starting point because it does list sources from time to time, but yeah, like, you should never fully rely on Wikipedia if you're actually doing some serious research on something. Anyone can edit Wikipedia? Yep, this is true. Although people usually don't, and moderators will fix it. But you know, the thing that kind of annoys me about the article on Gamergate is that they list it as a right-wing movement or an alt-right movement, but it was started by a Bernie bro, or at least one of the people that kind of, you know, made it popular. What was his name? Fucking Mundane Matt.
Your available weapons will be displayed in a list on the
Along with, I think Chris Raygun was also a part of that kind of, like, subculture as well, or at least that's how he started out.
Just do the
I think he's just a full-on lefty now.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep.
Like, if you asked him about the Gamergate stuff
to this mission.
nowadays, he'd probably just shrug it off, but, you know, it is what it is.
Stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife.
I pretty much know this game like the back of my hand, by the way, so...
Hush puppy tranquilizer gun?
For me, this is just kind of like replaying the game again for the 4th or 5th time.
The suppressor will deteriorate every
Who started Gamergate depends on whom you ask. Some say it started with the Boulder King, some people say it was always Pole.
so don't get too trigger happy with it.
Yeah, I know that Sargon of Akkad is also another one of those guys too, but I think he was just straight up right-wing.
Now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find
I guess my point is that, like, it was like a mix of a bunch of other people.
anyway.
Like, it was a mix of both right and left-leaning people, maybe some centrists here and there. And it was just like everybody against bougie left-wing culture trying to infect gaming and gaming media.
The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission.
It was mainly Paul for a while until the YouTube
Every sense of the word.
skeptics latched on and started grifting.
If you're captured
Yeah, that kind of makes more sense.
by any involvement in the affair.
Because I didn't really know about Gamergate until around 2014, but some of the events I think started in 2013.
SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers
I lost a lot of respect for some YouTubers after that happened, particularly Rerez TV and Angry Joe,
How
where they were making videos defending Anita Sarkeesian.
You're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was
You were
a
there from the
secret
beginning, huh?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
Furious Fernando has always been a moron. Yeah, but he was at least like an entertaining moron.
Back you up over the radio.
A lot of his earlier reviews were pretty funny. I can't really watch a lot of his newer reviews coming out today.
The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake.
Oh, speaking of Angry Joe, he also had a pretty angry meltdown on Twitter about Trump.
The medic who comes in by parachute.
I don't know if you saw, but
Real name.
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh?
oh yeah, no, it was something about the Smithsonian, I think, about how he wanted,
Regular Captain Nemo.
like basically Trump wanted the Smithsonian to talk about both the good and bad of America and not just the bad.
Jane Doe.
And then, you know, fucking Angry Joe threw a hissy fit over it.
But I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive.
You've been around since before the internet, Pappy.
12.73.
She's also in charge of recording.
The last time Joe was funny was when he reviewed Aliens Colonial Marines and almost cried on camera.
140.
Yeah, also his DMC Devil May Cry review was pretty funny as well. I like how he interspliced the
Records the state of your
fucking what's their name? Blood on the Dance Floor, that shitty fucking band.
Introduce you to Snake. Speaking of snakes,
That was a funny bit in the beginning.
boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss.
Also, his Ride to Hell of Retribution review was pretty funny too.
She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She
That being said, like there are some reviews even back then where you could kind of tell that he leaned very heavily to the left.
That's right. It's me.
I don't know. Like in general, I think the other reviewers
Voice.
are basically like a lot funnier and have aged well.
Days and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
A lot of the older AVGN videos are fun to rewatch,
Of course I can.
you know, comparatively.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why
Honestly, even some of the older Nostalgia Critic videos are pretty funny too.
Mission.
I caught myself rewatching several of them.
But there were still so
I still remember his meltdown on stream after Trump was anointed the first time.
I taught you everything you needed to know
Yeah.
about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing
Excuse
you
me.
learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only
I was gonna say that they also patched this game too. As soon as I turned on my PC, there was an update available for this game. So it seems like Konami seems like they're real quick about patching some of the issues people have. I'm sure there will be several more in the coming months, just like there was for the Metal Gear Solid collection. Which, by the way, like, if you were on the fence about getting the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection or the Master Collection, keep forgetting what it's called, on Steam or whatever, they did patch it enough to where I could, like, tentatively give it a pass. Just don't get it on the Switch, it's actual garbage. I love all this philosophical bullshit about being a paid, unthinking grunt. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of dialogue like this in the game, but I would say overall it's better written than half of the games coming out nowadays that have to do with politics.
As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
Metal Gear Solid, BioShock, Deus Ex. There's a couple of game franchises out there that know how to write politics well. Any YouTuber that got popular after 2014 is worth ignoring.
Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world.
I mean, that's debatable.
Hero backing you up, you'll be fine.
Because there are a lot of YouTubers before 2014 that have fallen. Like, they either fell from grace, or you could tell that they only got popular because they were the first to do something, and then somebody else did their thing better, and then they just became irrelevant. Suikoden 2 wrote politics well. I did get that Suikoden 1 and 2 remake collection that came out a few months back. I need to finish it. It's just that, like, I was just gonna say that there's, like, a lot of games on my plate right now. So that might be one I'll have to put on my backlog for next year.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival.
From the little I played of it, it looked pretty good. Not Suikoden 2, it was Suikoden 1. That was the one I played. Speaking of Suikoden 2, Square Lukester probably crying now because the value of Suikoden 2 fell like the Hindenburg once the remaster came out. Yeah, the same thing happened when Limited Run Games re-released Shantae for the Game Boy Color. Oh, speaking of Shantae, I did beat Risky Revolution as well earlier this week. It's a good game. I don't know if it's better than the original Shantae, but it's definitely better than Risky's Revenge, where it was just barely a game.
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Suikoden 2 did a great job with political writing. Okay, well, I'll definitely have to check that one out. That was another Konami game, wasn't it?
Commencing virtuous mission now.
So one thing about this remake you can do that you can't really do in the original Metal Gear Solid 3 is you can now crouch walk. So instead of having to crawl around like this, you can now just, do this. Try to see if there's any optional items I can find. I usually just avoid these alligators. I know you can throw a grenade at them if you have them. Actually, do I have... No, okay. I thought I did for a second. Oh, grenade. Here we go. Let's see if I can chuck a grenade at its mouth. See, Shantae is still way too much now for what it is, above an average Game Boy Color game. Ain't nobody paying $700 for that. Yeah, no. Like, if they don't release it on Steam, then just emulate it. Back in the golden age of Konami. Yeah, PS1 and PS2 era Konami was fantastic. Yeah, even I would argue that the early 7th gen Konami was pretty good too. When they were releasing the DS Castlevania games. They really did fall off during the early 2010s, I'd say. Splinter Cell figured out crouch walking years before Metal Gear. I know, it's fucking crazy. They didn't even bother doing it until the PSP game. I want to say it's Peace Walker, where that was the first one you could do that. Let me see if I can't. Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. Hang on, let me wait for it to open its mouth. No. Okay. Nice. Remember Never Dead? That was a weird game. I don't remember that one. Careful with the TikTok. He's hungry for a manwich.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either.
I'm having game collector YouTuber fatigue. So many of them want to be Mr. Beasts. Depressing. Yeah, you know what also really fucking pisses me off about some of these quote-unquote retro YouTube gaming collectors? A lot of them don't really do reviews. They kind of come off like they're trying to be VH1, or they're trying to be like QVC, where they just show off games, and then they just talk about their memories about them for 5 seconds, like Metal Jesus Rocks. I know he's been doing his shit for like almost 15 to 20 years at this point. But that motherfucker is not like a gaming YouTuber, let's be real. He's just like a rich dude who has access to a lot of games and has a good collection.
You should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area.
By the way, how's the game audio? Is it too quiet, too loud? Here's some crappy NES game that is really bad, but it's worth 600 now, so buy it now. Yeah, no thank you. I'll just be emulating it like 90% of other people. Billy from Game Chasers got a brain tumor a few days ago. He's one of the few good ones. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about the Game Chasers. There was actually this like really obscure console war YouTube fucking YouTube channel I used to watch who actually did a video or two with them. I want to say his name was Seventh Level. Don't know if you heard about him, but he basically just got a lot of subs from his video making fun of the Xbox One when it came out. But overall, I thought he was pretty entertaining. At least for that type of content, anyways. Nowadays, I would say console war shit is just irrelevant. Because there's really no point to buying a PS5 or an Xbox One unless you just want the exclusives. But even then, most of them just end up on PC anyway. People love to make up craps just so that they can sell it for higher money. Yep. Let me change my camouflage. Oh, by the way, for the remake of this game, they do add a couple of new things. You can have yourself a gold suit if you want. And you can just expose yourself to everyone and everything. If that's what you want to do. You also have access to a crocodile suit. But for some reason, I don't have the crocodile head. Not sure why that is, but... I think the thermal goggles are around here too, so I should probably get that as well. I like the special edition PS5 that came out that looks like a PS1. Oh yeah, you're talking about the PS5 Pro. Oh, okay. Shit. Whoops. I fucked up. Don't call HQ. I'm not here. I'm invisible. Too bad it's digital only. Yeah, true. It really is sad that buying physical nowadays is like you have less access to the game you buy physically than if you just bought it on Steam. Only PS5 games that are going to be worth big money in the future are Expedition 33 and the JRPGs. Yeah, Expedition 33 is a good game. I was kind of on the fence about it in the beginning because I was stuck on one boss, but then I kind of realized you had to do these 3 other mini bosses. And that would make the second phase of the fight a lot easier. So that was pretty much just ignorance on my part. It's a really good game. The only thing I'm not really a fan of is some of the art direction. It kind of looks like a Sony game. You know, everyone has like the Sony stare, if you know what I mean, where they kind of have that awkward grin. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Alright, we're in Dolino Vodno. Yeah, I'm not huge into the human designs. They look like rejected Last of Us characters. Yeah, but besides that, like the gameplay is genuinely good. I think that Square Enix should take some inspiration from that game if they want to make a Final Fantasy 17. They should do that. Enemy designs are cool though. Reminds me of Shadow Hearts or Final Fantasy 9. Never really got into Shadow Hearts. I did beat Final Fantasy 9 last year. That was a good one. Yep, almost slipped there. Nice. Got myself a rifle. Let me go ahead and grab that mushroom. Oh. Kind of like how I just went through those soldiers.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around.
Even though it's a great game, you have to admit it kind of feels Game Award baity at times. Yeah. One thing that's annoying me so far this year about gaming is like, for the first 6 months, there wasn't a lot I was looking forward to. Or, you know, like there was really nothing coming out that I wanted to play besides Expedition 33 and maybe a few others, but it's like now, you know, we got this game, obviously. We have Shantae Risky Revolution, which I just beat. And then you have Pac-Man World 2 Repack that's coming out sometime next month. You have Digimon Story Time Stranger coming out in October, I think.
Understood.
I know there's a couple other games I'm looking forward to that I hadn't, you know, that I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but it's like, kind of sucks. You know, there's a lot of good games I want to play, but I might not be able to get into them properly. Was hyped for KCD2, and then everything came out about it. Oh, you mean Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot of people were disappointed about it. Oh wow, my camouflage is like yeah, let me change that. Wasted my ammo there. No, you didn't see anything. Yep, you're just seeing things. Give him an inch and a mile will run. Kingdom Come 3, more like medieval Tumblr 3. Ah, shit. Got to be more careful. I miss the PS2 and GameCube era back when you got a fantastic game every 2 weeks or so. Yep. It's really sad. Yeah, the 6th generation, I think, was like the peak of gaming. Like the golden age of gaming in general, I would say, would probably be from like the mid to late 90s up until the year 2012. Anything after 2012 is just like, it just got progressively worse and worse and worse, and ever since it just kind of like ebbed and flowed.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, the PS2 was also my first console ever made, so it's kind of like I grew up with like
I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero.
I have a message from him.
Lost Odyssey on the 360.
He said to
That was the one made by Hironobu Sakaguchi, right? After he left Square.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
I think that game ended up getting remastered.
Man of his
It should be available on Steam or PS4 or whatever.
But we've got no time for this.
I had that game with a strategy guide. I played through its entirety with that guide in hand.
Who's
Yeah, my only
Colonel Volgin of
the only thing that kept me from playing that game was I didn't have a 360. I had a PS3 and it was a 360 exclusive. So
Never heard of him.
I was stuck with
He's a member of the Army's extreme
the other,
division.
you know, JRPGs.
Control of the motherland. Ever since the
When it comes to like the PS3 and 360 or like the main home consoles during the 7th gen, I think that was kind of a dark age of JRPGs because a lot of them were trying to get inspiration from Western ideas.
suppress the opposition so far, but the failure of his agricultural policies.
Me personally, I had a PS2 Slim, and then that one had to get replaced because the laser died, and then that one also had to get replaced.
Assassination.
It's not on Steam, only on 360 and backwards compatible. Are you sure about that?
And his power base is rapidly crumbling away.
Maybe I was thinking of a different game that was also on the 360 exclusively, but
Seize power
I thought Lost Odyssey got remastered back in the day, or maybe a couple years ago.
and installing Brezhnev
Hang on, let me Google
in
that,
his place.
because you're probably right.
Behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control
Lost
of secret weapons
Odyssey.
that be much like this one, OKB 812, known as the Granin Design Bureau.
Remaster.
Using it to further his plans.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
To satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon.
There's no remaster or remake.
Use it as leverage in his
Well,
bid for
darn.
power.
I guess there's always emulation, though. It's a good thing that's becoming more viable nowadays. Something I'll say too, right now PS3 emulation is hit or miss, and it's very miss with Sonic 06 in terms of accuracy. As soon as it becomes more accurate and the emulation is able to replicate more what it was like playing on the console, I will do a stream of that game.
Vulcan will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
Because Sonic 06 is one of those games where it's like you never really know how bad it is until you get your hands on it. PS2 Slims can scratch your disc. My copies of Rule of Rose and Xenosaga 3 got scuffs because of it. Oh shit. Yeah, Rule of Rose is what, $1,000 now on eBay. So yeah, that really fucking sucks. And Xenosaga as well. I know some of those games are pretty rare. Well, maybe not Xenosaga. I was thinking of don't know why I got Dot Hack and Xenosaga mixed up, but
Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine.
Is Rule of Rose even a good game? Because I've heard mixed things about it. Some people say it's good, some people say it's shit.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past.
But a lot of the talk behind it was just that not a lot of people bought it, so it ended up being rare.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
But how much of the issue... sorry if I could talk today. But how much of the issues with emulating Sonic 06 is due to the emulator or the natural jank of the game itself? Yeah, no, yeah, like, my whole thing with Sonic 06 is, like, I already know that the game is shit, because I had it back in the day. But, with emulators, it doesn't accurately emulate how the game was when it came out on PS3. So, like, there's a lot of added issues because it's not, just like the compatibility for it isn't up to snuff. So, who knows? Maybe worst case scenario, I could just rebuy a PS3 and then hook it up to a capture card and play it that way. But yeah, no, Sonic 06 was fucking trash. And I know that there's Project 06, and a lot of people say, oh, well, Sonic 06 could have been good if, they did it the way Project 06 did. But it's like, you can't really judge 06 by comparing it to a project made by fans in a completely different engine, and no hub worlds, and all the cutscenes are taken out. It's like, it's a different experience, man. Yeah, Richard Russell saying there was a controversy around it. Italians banned it all because they thought you would turn into Mr. Epstein if you played it. Oh, really? See, Richard Russell saying, you a horror film fanatic, G? Ever heard of Eden Lake? Yeah, no, I'm not really that much of a horror buff. I actually get scared pretty easily when it comes to horror shit, so it's like if I'm not with a group of friends, I typically don't watch them. I did like It, the 2017 movie. I hadn't seen the original miniseries, and I've also seen a couple of other movies, like, I've seen Paranormal Activity, although I don't know if that would count as, like, horror, but... Like, when it comes to, like, the really disturbing shit, that's usually not something I gravitate towards. I'm more into, like, fantasy and comedy. PS3 versions of multi-plat games are always dodgy. Yeah, especially during the first few years of the PS3's life. The architecture, developers didn't really understand it, so they would allocate a lot of the programming to the CPU instead of the GPU. And as a result, like, the 360 just ended up being more stable with a lot of games. Okay, Rule of Rose is basically Eden Lake if it was a video game. Scary dog. Collected G, the cowardly... if I could talk today. Collected G, the cowardly wolf. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Like, just to kind of give you an idea of, like, how squeamish I am when it comes to horror games. Corpse Party kind of freaked me out when I was a teenager. Back when I had it on the PSP. Like, that story genuinely gripped me. In that game. And it was just a bunch of pixels, and it looked all 16-bit, so... You know, besides all the illustrations that would pop up whenever you examined something, but, you know. A lot of the issue was that multiplat games were made for the 360, then ported to the PS3. Yeah, that makes sense, too. The gameplay itself is terrible. People only remember it because of the shock value. Gotcha. Actually, didn't Empty make a video reviewing it? Maybe I should check that out sometime.
If you're not the boss,
Come on, G. Even the mouse likes horror games. Who knows? Maybe this October I'll stream a horror game. Like one that'll actually genuinely scare me. Old German bedtime stories are scarier than horror films. Oh yeah, like the Family Guy skit where the kid has his thumbs ripped off. Was it actually like a genuine German bedtime story, or was that just something that they made up? That's not conjecture either. An old friend of mine was QC for EA, and he told me all about that. Oh, QA testing? Gotcha. Dude, that must be one of the hardest jobs to do, especially when you work for a company like EA, where half the games that come out don't even fucking work. That's a real bedtime story. Shock-headed Peter? Yeesh. Yeah, no wonder people were scared of them back in the day. Look up the cover art. Freakiest shit I've ever seen. See, shock-headed Peter. Holy shit! The first thing that pops up is like some dude grinning. Oh, that's probably just like a, you know, some dude putting on a play or a rendition of it. I'm assuming it's this illustration of this troll-looking dude. Yeah, no wonder they almost took over the world. You would make more money flipping burgers. The only way to make more money is by doing obscene amount of overtime, soul crushing. Yeah, I'm sure QA testing for, you know, people that do QA testing, they do that and then they do other things. There was a play in the 90s done by a British rock band. Okay, that's probably the image that popped up then. Mark Twain did the localization for it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We're counting on you.
Okay, I'm gonna do a funny. Give me a second.
Saving the game, Snake?
Yeah, I was playing on very easy for a little bit too, just to kind of test it out,
Hey, Snake, you have
see if it had any optimization issues. But seems like the game is fine. All right, where's the dude? Here he is. Ha, that's funny. I killed him early, guys.
Done. You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Time paradox, oh no. Also, the Scissorman and Clock Tower was inspired by that story. That's another game I need to beat. I know that they re-released it on Steam and modern platforms and such, but I was not a fan of like some of the modern cutscenes that they added to it. So if I ever do play that game, it'll be classic mode or something. He stopped doing that years ago. It was too much for him. Very easy. Or very, very easy would be gaseous mode. I remember for a while, whenever Joey was streaming stuff, he was streaming FMV games, or he would stream videos of like Let's Plays doing FMV games, and I was kind of worried about him for a minute. I thought maybe his reflexes were getting a little bit out of whack. But nope, he seems to be doing better, which is always good. One of the other stories in the book is about a group of boys teasing a black kid. A wizard punches them by dumping them in ink. Damn. Oh no, you meant gassy mode. Gotcha. Knocking off the drinking probably helped. Yeah. That is pretty noble of him that he kind of cut back on that a little bit. Like, it's one thing to have a drink or two when, you know, you're with company, or, you know, you have like one or two in moderation a week whenever you're streaming, but it's a little bit tacky to get drunk on stream. So good on him.
The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
When your life is empty, you feel compelled to fill it with something. Yeah.
Finished.
No, this is only the end of
Yep, true.
Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2. The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it,
Yeah, I have a friend who like for a while he was drinking and doing CBD gummies, and eventually he just knocked that stuff off. Like, he'll still drink every once in a while, but only like a little bit. And his life has been a lot better since he started cutting out the you know, the weed gummies.
take me to America. Quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
And from what he told me, he like, there was just one night where he got really blackout drunk, and then he threw up on his bed, and his headset got ruined, and that just kind of made him wake up a little bit. Sometimes, you know, that's all you really need to make a change in your life. A lot of people have it worse where, you know, they could just never put it down. And, you know, it's always sad. Didn't mean to get too much into that, but, you know. That's good. Too much excess is dangerous. Yep, yep. It'll also take 10 years off your life as well. Yeah, this is the part where she betrays us, I guess. And she becomes a filthy commie.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Also, believe it or not, but Shockhead Peter was one of the first comic books, really. So you can thank old German bedtime story for cave shit. Yeah. It's unfortunate. You think that the creator of Superman and Batman would be proud at some of the spin-off comics that have been derivative of his creation? I know that there was a gay Superman comic that only lasted 2 issues because nobody bought it. There was also a fart fetish Harley Quinn comic as well.
My friends.
Not even a fan comic or, you know, like a porn fetish web comic or nothing. Like, it was a legit DC comic issue where Harley Quinn was farting.
Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go.
Fourth wave feminism really was a mistake, I'm sorry. And DEI.
It's raining blood. Is he crying?
I don't think I remember this cutscene being in the original game, but then again, it's been a while since I've seen this cutscene.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child.
The artwork was grisly. One story was about a boy who refused to eat his soup for dinner, and one of the artworks was a terrifying image of him being super thin.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Eat your soup for dinner, or you will end up like Eugenia Cooney. Whatever happened to her? Is she still like that, or did she actually get help?
He must die.
She's basically a hollow. Yeah, she's a ghoul.
I'll take care of him.
She's skinny!
Jack,
She needs
you can't.
to eat a burger! But, you know, like, I do genuinely hope that she gets help. And she actually, like, eats a little bit more. If I recall correctly, too, YouTube updated their terms of service a while ago. I want to say it was, like, 2 or 3 years ago. Where, promoting eating disorders is now, like, that'll actually get you banned. So, if she's still like that, then... you know. She better not be promoting that lifestyle.
The new blood has been rejected.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Duran Duran Invisible intensifies. I don't think I've heard that song. Oh, by the way, when it comes to the cure menu and shit for this game, they did streamline it a little bit. It's a lot more snappy. It's a meme associated with Big Boss. Look it up. Okay.
Snake, can you hear me?
Probably check it out later.
Just barely.
Snake.
If it's a meme associated with this game, I'm sure I've heard it at some point. One of the big issues I had was that it's basically a menu simulator. Yeah, you have to hit a bunch of different curative items to
Just relax and it'll all
fully cure yourself. And then if you got poisoned again, like 10 seconds later, you have to go back in the menu and do it all over again.
people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the survival viewer button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into two types of treatment: medicine and surgical procedures. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen.
I'm really tempted to skip this cutscene, but
Using surgical
I promised myself that I would watch through all of it.
Move the healing cursor with a movement stick to the affected part of your body, and press the enter button. Once you've selected the affected area, use the movement stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up,
Okay, I could probably skip that part. Let's see, wound still open, disinfected, bandage, bleeding. Suture kit, yep. Wound still open. Bandage. Bleeding, disinfected. Bandage, splint. There we go. Ah. You could just feel that. Had to basically snap his joint back in place. That's gotta suck. I hope you made a wish first.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Kind of reminds me of the airship from Final Fantasy 15. Can't believe Konami would plagiarize that. I'm kidding, by the way. Not sure what the whole consensus is with Final Fantasy 15, but I thought the game was okay. Like, it's not the worst in the franchise, but it's also not like anything spectacular. I just prefer Final Fantasy to be turn-based. I feel like that's where that's the genre that the series truly belongs in.
Boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Yeah, apparently she's everybody's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Eva gets it in the end. Yep.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for
She ends up making Snakes solid.
I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
If I recall correctly, she ended up getting fucked by Snake in Alaska, and then she left him a note about how she basically lied about who she was. Something like that. Big Boss was a big simp. Yep. And then he ended up going to Latin America. And he ended up joining this, like, I guess, rebel gang or whatever. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've tried playing through Peace Walker. Oh, by the way, guys, you are not prepared for how different the theme song is. They got the original chick to do a re-recording, and I was not prepared for it. It's a little bit different. Also, just like in the original game, you can kind of fuck with it as well. You can make little parachute men jump. You can move them around and go, woo! Make little pedals blow. It's a neat little Easter egg. Not gonna lie, I do prefer the original recording, but you also have to take into consideration that the person that sang this song is like 20 years older. So she's probably not gonna sound as good compared to how she was 20 years ago. I still feel like she mostly did a good job here, though. Also, one thing, too, about this remake as well, they did actually, I think, like a Big Boss's design, or maybe not Big Boss, but the bitch that you fight at the end of the game, in the original, they gave her a jumpsuit, but here I think they made it stand out a little bit more. They gave it a lot of reflective lighting, and like, if you want my opinion, she's actually more sexualized here than she is in the original game.
So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism.
I know there were a lot of people that were speculating that they might have made, you know, the final boss of this game, you know, the mentor. There was a lot of speculation going around that they made her look even more butch, or that they toned down how she was sexualized, but
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
don't think that happened here.
According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the
She looked ethereal. Yeah.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
She kind of reminded me of a PE coach I had once.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Okay, look, it's the bad Russian accent and the bad Texan accent. Gotta love it.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of
One of the worst presidents we've ever had, by the way, Lyndon B. Johnson. A lot of people think that Nixon started the Vietnam War, but it was actually, it was LBJ, actually.
At about the same time, our anti-aircraft...
Then again, I don't think he was ever meant to be president. I just think that he took over after Kennedy got shot.
Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must...
You have seen Kitty History, right? No, I haven't.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that. The man who
What's that about, if you don't mind me asking?
grew colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich.
Is it like the history of cats or something?
Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature...
It's a stealth red pill.
...along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear...
I'm assuming it's either like a movie or a documentary of some sort.
I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range and...
To be honest, if there was anything that red pilled me, it was just the year 2014 in general. Like, after 2014 happened, like after that year came and went, that's when I knew that I would just be voting red the rest of my life.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss with Colonel...
Posted it in the Discord and politics. Gotcha. I'll check it out.
and took them with her.
Maybe I'll put it on when I'm working out next time at the gym.
Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's Design Lab, a top-secret military research facility,
I feel like I've been doing pretty good about that, by the way. I've been going 2 to 3 times a week just as like a regular habit. And I've also been doing 20 push-ups and 20 sit-ups every day after waking up.
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was...
It's a Whitest Kids You Know clip. I've seen this one pop up in my recommended just because I've seen a lot of them.
That this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again.
I think my favorite skit from them was the one where
And I would like
it was either the gal in the PCP or it was the one where one of the kids' parents died and he ended up going all crazy and started mixing chocolate syrup with booze, and then he started hanging out with black people.
You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining...
Add some yoga into the mix and you'll be set.
Then you must find some way to prove...
Yeah, I don't really know any good yoga instructions. I've never really messed with that.
Something painful.
So if you have any like resources that could maybe guide me on that, I'd definitely appreciate that.
Should be close to Colonel Volgin.
That's good, Wolfman. Been exercising every day too myself. Good.
Too much if I were you.
Yep, it's always good to stay in shape.
And Colonel Volgin is a member of the...
Gandalf graping was also hilarious.
1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Look up Wii Yoga on YouTube. Basic forms, but that's all you really need. Okay. I'll be sure to give that one a look.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
So basically what's going on is if Snake doesn't clear the name of the US government, there's going to be a military coup going on in the Soviet Union, and they're going to launch a nuclear strike on us.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has...
If you look up, you can see a poster of a Japanese lady.
You and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Kojima did like his women, didn't he?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet...
Oh, by the way, Kojima was interviewed recently, and he was asked by a fan if he was planning on playing the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. And pretty much what happened was he laughed hysterically for 20 seconds, and then he said no. Which, you know, kind of makes sense from his perspective, but... like, let's be real. I don't think that Kojima made the Metal Gear Solid games. He was definitely... like, he was definitely an important figure in that. And he had a big role in, you know, making what these games were, but... he also had a lot of help, too, and a lot of talent. It was a collaborative effort. And I think he also had a co-writer for the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games. And it was after that where the story started becoming a little bit more shit. And, you know, of course, he had more creative control with the writing. Basically just the George Lucas effect. A lot of writers that end up gaining creative control think that they're the best writers on the planet. But if you want my personal opinion, the best writers on the planet are the ones that have like 1 or 2 people giving them notes that are like, why are you doing this? I feel kind of bad for the woman who modeled Quiet. There's tons of CG videos of her doing disgusting things. Really. Yeah, Kojimbo loved to hog all the credit, basically like George Lucas. Yep. And George Lucas made a bunch of really dumb decisions that would get cut out from the original Star Wars movie, A New Hope. There were a lot of ideas he wanted to implement, but he couldn't because it would either make more sense to have it read, like when it comes to the dialogue. There was a lot of stuff that he tried to put in there where it's like, it would be fine if you read it, but when you're hearing it in a movie, it just sounds retarded. So he did have someone wrangle him for the first couple of movies, and funnily enough, those two movies are arguably the best Star Wars movies ever. George and Steven are full of themselves. A lot of creative people need wranglers. Yep. Spielberg has made like 3 or 4 good films. The rest are overhyped garbage. I'm trying to think of the Steven Spielberg movies that I've seen. I know I've seen Jaws. I've seen E.T. Wait, was E.T. Spielberg or was that Lucas? That might have been a Spielberg film. To be honest, I wasn't really a fan of E.T. I remembered my grandma took me to go see the it was the one that had remastered special effects or whatever, and they re-released it in theaters for the 20th anniversary or some shit. Wasn't really a huge fan of it. I don't think it's aged well. Maybe if you saw it as a kid back in the 80s, it would have been good, but like back when I was a kid, I didn't really care for it. E.T. was Spielberg. That was one of his good ones. Okay. Well, I mean, me personally, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. It was... I mean, to me, it was just a movie. One little factoid I heard about it, though, was originally they wanted M&M's to be a sponsor for the movie. They wanted the kid to eat M&M's, but the M&M company refused to let them do it because they thought the movie would flop. So instead, Reese's Pieces ended up being used instead. You saw it in the theaters back in 82? Nice. Yeah, the 80s had a lot of great films. Like, if the 1950s was peak American society, then I would say that, like, the 80s and 90s was, like, when it started to plateau a little bit and things started to seem like it was getting good. You know, then 9/11 happened, and ever since then, America's been going down the toilet. Schindler's List is why Oscar bait exists. Yeah, it doesn't shock me. I hear it's a good movie, but I don't know if it's historically accurate. Schindler's List needs a laugh track. Speaking of Jewish Oscar bait films, Prince of Egypt wasn't bad. It makes a lot of creative liberties with how the story of Moses is told in the Bible, so it's not like, you know, you're getting the you know, most accurate retelling of that, but the animation was pretty good at the very least. E.T., Close Encounters, Jurassic Park. I've seen the first Jurassic Park. That one was good. I hadn't seen any of the sequels, though, or any of the reboots, really.
official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary
I haven't seen Saving Private Ryan either.
to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Let me change my camo. Change it up a bit. Uh-oh. 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 Rip Val, the best Moses. Did Val Kilmer voice Moses in Prince of Egypt? Had no idea. All right, let's... Wait, do I only have my my M1? Oh, almost had a DSP moment there. The suppressor wasn't even on. I wonder what Kojimbo was trying to tell us with that face paint. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, am I supposed to drop down? Yes. Okay. See if there's any item I'm missing. Remember to use rations, you need a crouch jump. Oh yeah, to use rations, you need a crouch jump. Dude, I know a lot of people like to riff on DSP for his playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2, and that was kind of the beginning of, like, you know, this is how you don't play shit that a lot of people would make out of him. His Metal Gear Solid 3 playthrough was so incompetent, I was actually questioning if, like, he actually had functioning brain cells. If you just take a look at how he was planting the C4 during the part of the game where you had to place them in 4 different parts. I think it was in the part where you were inside the hangar.
That arm still hurt?
His whole playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 was completely fucking miserable. DSP is legit retarded. Yeah, I mean, you know, I have my moments in the games where I get lost sometimes, or I'm not fighting a boss properly, but, you know, eventually I come through, but it's like with him, it's a consistent habit of just, like, not understanding the game mechanics. It also could be possible that he just plays so many different games because he's a variety streamer that he just can't keep up with all the shit that's going on. But that's still no excuse.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here.
I got to hold an Oscar for the guy who made Everything Everywhere All at Once. Too bad he looks like a Redditor.
No need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America.
Look up Daniel Shiner, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a Redditor he looks like. Let me go ahead and do that now. Let's see. Daniel. I'm not Jewish. Shine. Nert. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got the he's got the open mouth in one of his portraits. He's balding. He's got the thick rim glasses.
What about you, Jack?
He has a little
Loyalty to your country or loyalty
he has a little sweater on with like a collar that's like a turtleneck.
or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal
Yeah,
feelings?
that's 100% grade A hippie liberal douche right there. He 100% is on like at least 10 different Reddits.
You don't know the truth yet.
Recoil, what's that?
But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well.
I'm bald and have glasses, but you'll rarely see me smiling. Yeah, like, it's not really the smiling that got me. It was, like, you notice with a lot of Reddit people that they always have, like, an agape mouth. Like, their mouth is always open during Christmas photos, and you can tell that they ruined them.
Now, go home.
Poor Geeky Sparkles. Isn't she the bitch that is on Clownfish TV and she makes all those clickbaity culture war videos about gaming?
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell.
I'm assuming she's somebody, or she's with somebody that's like that.
They're gonna come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake,
I used to watch Clownfish TV, but I unsubbed from a lot of like clickbaity, you know, pro, you know, whatever, just like reading off of gaming articles and making fun of them.
In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
Be nice to Mrs. Russell.
she's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion.
Kiki left for It's a Gundam. Hirsch is after Synthetic Man. I'm lonely.
Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
He does look like a Redditor. Yep. Should probably make a save. Kingdom Come 2 exposed a lot of the grifters.
Paramedic.
Yeah, so did Dragon's Dogma too. Because there were a lot of reviewers that, you know, they didn't mention any of the microtransactions that were available for that game. I think I'll just swap between 2 or 3 different save files in case I fuck something up. Oh shit. Run. Ah, shit. I didn't see those people coming.
This is HQ. Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation. Acknowledged.
I can't even see where they are because my character is zoomed in. You talked a lot about Andy Pants and how he's basically a Fed disguised as an anti-woke YouTuber. I forget who Andy Pants is, but I know that Smash JT is also kind of a... He's a bit of an airhead sometimes too, because I know that he had this anonymous email from somebody that he just took for, you know, like he basically took his word as gospel and made him look like an idiot. If there is one criticism I have with this game is, you know, with this remake, is that I do feel like the camera is zoomed in a lot. They should give you the option to kind of zoom out a bit. Because it's like right now I'm in the middle of the grass and I can't see where my enemies are. In the original game, that wouldn't have been a problem, but you know, it's not too bad. I could live with it. He's the guy who called Katamari Damacy woke, got destroyed by the Act Man of all people. Oh wait, was Andy Pants that guy that debated Act Man and he tried to be on the side of the anti-woke people, but he ended up failing because he was just like a 110 IQ midwit? Basically just made a lot of people on his side look bad. Because I've seen the Act Man debate, or, you know, I've seen some of his videos, and a lot of them are so easy to refute. And, like, also one thing, too, that a lot of people don't understand on the left is that whenever someone on the right is complaining about something being woke, they're not talking about woke as in, like, the literal sense of it, of, you know, being politically aware of something. Like, they mean it in a more informal sense, like how back in the 80s the word bad didn't used to mean literally bad. It just meant that you were cool or badass in a way. And that's kind of what that word meant informally for a couple of decades. I'm still confused to this day why Act Man is popular. Basically what happened was he got into some drama, or he basically got into a feud with this, you know, like with this other right-wing midwit called keep forgetting his name, but yeah, it's Quantum TV. Basically sent him a false copyright claim or a false flag of something or other. And a lot of people were on Act Man's side on this. And that's pretty much how he got the audience that he has now. It's because he ended up getting fat off of the Quantum TV drama, and now he basically has to live with the fact that he's an idiot. God damn it. He does make a lot of long-form content, though, that appeals to a general demographic of people. So, I mean, even before the debacle with Quantum TV, Ack is beyond milquetoast. Okay, well, I've never seen any of his content before that, but yeah, like, he doesn't really give a lot of strong opinions based on what I've seen. He just kind of says the thing that a lot of people agree with. It's the moist critical effect. I think that's the best way to explain it. If you give a lot of easy takes on things and you keep doing that over and over again, eventually you'll come through. How the hell do I not have my MK? Do I have to find that again? Did I drop it somewhere? Oh no, wait, I forgot. I have to go to Eva first. Duh. Moist is literally if a normie milquetoast was a YouTuber. Hey guys, it's Moist Critical. So today we're gonna get into something that's a complete load of barnacles. Here's a 15-minute live stream clip of me reacting to it. So yeah, that's it. See ya. Moist is a manlet, so his opinion is worth half of that of an actual person. Yeah. Also, same thing with Mudahar, too. Mudahar's been getting a lot of shit. Deservedly so. He kept saying for years that he was an engineer, even though he's not. Speaking of lolcows, another reason a lot of those current retro channels suck is that they try to shut down sites or channels that call them out. Metal Jesus and Pat the NES Punk was friends with BU, so they advocated for the farms to be shut down. You ever notice how whenever people try to call for the destruction of Kiwi farms, it always backfires? I mean, me personally, I'm neutral to the site. Like, I don't really care if it goes or stays, but you know, it's basically just like a rumor website. You know, it's just like if it's not on Kiwi Farms, it's going to be somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like people are still going to be talking shit about you either way. A forum about lolcows run by a lolcow. Okay, well. Try to do a sneaky snick out of here. Oh, hang on. I see some people, I think. Nope. Maybe. Yeah, Null's a dipstick. I don't really know much about Null. Alright, sweet. I'm almost back to where I was. I think there should be a gun up here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I was right. Actually, I should probably go back because I forgot that there was an item I missed as well. Let's see, Null doesn't even know how to search his own website, then he spouts off opinions on topics he knows nothing about and triples down when called out. Oh, okay. Yeah, whenever you're running a website like Kiwi Farms, that might not be something you want to do. And it sounds like something you want to avoid. To be fair about BU, he is the reason why a lot of modern emulators work so well. He also scanned every Genesis and Super Nintendo manual and box, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, that's pretty commendable. Oh, come on, don't go down that path. I need to go down there. I'll wait for him to get back up again, I suppose. Come on, go left. Go left. His thread doesn't have anything super noteworthy other than he was a furry who had a diaper and transformation fetish. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, a lot of programmers, like, pretty much anyone I ask who, fuck am I trying to say? like all the people I know that work in tech or IT, there's always at least like 2 or 3 furries that are a little bit weird. So doesn't exactly surprise me. Okay, so this guy just isn't gonna come up. Awesome. Yep, you're just seeing things. Nothing else. People do need to realize that autistic people who are sensitive to negative things can end up committing suikoden over tiniest and smallest things. That Save a Fox Girl is a good example. I've never heard of that Save... Oh, you mean the chick who, she killed herself for, death threats on Reddit? I think I know who you're talking about. Shit. Okay, well, whoopsie. Something I will say, though, is, like, if you're killing yourself over death threats made on Reddit, I think you maybe had other issues going on that you didn't want people to know about. Again, it's sad that she died, but she should also... I don't know. Like, you can't let words on the internet like that control you. And if you feel like they are, then you need to kind of step away from it. Yeah, it was a Snark subreddit that had like 4 members in it. I have no respect for anyone scared of words. Yeah, same here. Ah, shit. Okay, well. I might have to just wing this. I don't have anything except a stun grenade. Awesome. Let me just wait for the alert to go down, I suppose. You know what? Okay, I was given an opening. I'm gonna take it. I took a risk there, but I really wanted to get that stuff, so. We just find a patch of grass for me to... We'll go all black this time. Cure myself a bit. Awesome. Aw, fuck. You asshole. Okay. I am finding an air duct. me go ahead and eat something too. I think there actually is a secret way you can get into the bedroom. There's like a latch or something you can open up.
Control here. We've lost sight of the intruder, going into high alert.
Maybe that's not it. Consequences of Last of Us led to every horror game now being a walking simulator. Yeah. That and Gone Home. I remembered a lot of gaming journalists were sucking off Gone Home, and they were talking about how it changed their life, and... No. No, dude. It's a fucking Unity asset flip, is what it is, but... You know, whatever. You know, it's their opinion, I guess. Definitely not motivated by anything about the game's story or nothing. Yeah, The Last of Us for gaming is like what Star Wars Episode 7 was for movies. I do have that game, by the way. I have it on Steam. And I will play through it someday. But from what I hear, a lot of people say it's overrated. A lot of people say it's good and that it's the second one that sucks. You know, one thing I know for sure, though, is a lot of people are divisive on 2. There were a lot of people that did not like The Last of Us Part 2. Okay, we're almost done here.
Control here. No problems detected.
Understood. Return to your position.
Before I do something stupid. You can thank, or you can thank Senator Abby Strong for that. Oh yeah, the bitch with the golf club. I like how a lot of people enjoy riffing on that scene. Alright, let's grab this bitch. Got ourselves a little cardboard box.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are Who are the Patriots? Answer me.
Front row.
Get down!
There's no way a woman would do that in real life, by the way. But it is a fun action scene. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I forget that she might be like a Chinese spy. You know, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played the game in the last, like, 20 years. Boobs.
The name's Eva.
I am glad that Konami decided to keep all those, you know, RB cutscene transition things. I'm glad that they didn't take those out, because some of those are pretty funny.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
What happened to Adam?
Colonel Volgin is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were?
Yes.
Why?
Because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a code breaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military.
Fun fact, the reason why Eva decided to defect to the Soviet Union, it was because she was just interested in other cultures. And she was interested in Russia, so she just chose to join them.
You've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Even that's hard to come by. Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
.45, huh? Incredible.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip.
Eva, Adam, Snake. You know Kojimbo thought he was clever with that shit. Yep. It's a little bit of a wink wink, nudge nudge.
Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You had this with you, didn't you?
It's a nice cock, I'll give you that. But the foreskin gives it no tactical advantage whatsoever.
What's that?
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then?
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Oh, that lighting is awful.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
Yeah, I do have, I think, the lighting engine turned down a bit, so that's probably why.
The safest way
I had to cut down a few settings.
North through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Past the
So that could just be a me thing.
and there will be a large crevice. Descend
I haven't tested this cutscene out with like everything fully maxed out.
you will arrive at a mangrove swamp.
So far, this is the only cutscene where I noticed it, though.
Make your way through the warehouse and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight. Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something.
Yeah, the lighting engine, I think, kind of geeks out whenever you turn down the settings.
Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more.
Yeah.
You look disappointed. All right then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good girl and lie down. What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Honestly, relatable. I feel like we've all been Snake at some point.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU. Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap. Doctor's orders, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Alright, time to make a save. I think what I'll do is just like... I'll probably just cycle between 2 or 3 save points. And also, I think after I beat Ocelot's Goons is... Yeah, I think after that point, that's when I'm going to start calling it quits for the night. It's already 1 a.m. But... Excuse me. Nice.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
We've got company. It's the Ocelot unit. Let's get out of here. Hurry. Don't forget your gear. Here, give me a hand.
So usually what I do is I just use a stun grenade to knock out like 3 or 4 of the guards that are already there.
We can use this to get to the basement.
Because I know some of them try to bust down the door.
I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy. Huh?
Don't go dying on me now.
Alright, bitchin'. Let me bust up my backpack. We are going to use stun grenades. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. I forget if the original game gave you a aiming reticle or not. Pretty sure it did. Can't imagine why they wouldn't. Just gotta wait for them to bust down the door and show up. Ah, shit. Okay. Did I miss? Did it bounce off the fucking window? That was a fucking fail. Modern Konami. Gaseous. Let me lodge that bullet out. Oh wow, I got an achievement for that. Excellent. Oh shit. My game crashed. Fuck. Speaking of modern Konami. This is the first time I experienced a crash for this game, by the way. So, I was not expecting that. Give me a second. Yeah, to be honest, I was gonna end the stream session after I did this mission anyway, so... yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here tonight. Next time I stream this game, we'll just continue on from this mission. So... Yep, yeah. Kind of a bit of a... little bit of a sour note to end the stream session on, but yeah. Yeah, that was not good. What a great game. Thanks, Konami. Gaming industry needs another landfill of cheapo games. Yeah, there are a lot of games coming out nowadays that are pretty trash, aren't there? Yep. Before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Stalin Boba, Gaseous, and Richard Russell for joining the stream. It's always appreciated. And yeah, next Thursday night we're going to stream this game again, and hopefully the game won't fucking crash on me.